giving you a slice of unapologetic conversation. Welcome to Straight to Tape. My name is C. Perry II, the Mr. Fantastic of podcasting's Fantastic Four. First, the comedian, professional joke slinger Tico the Guy. What's good, Tico?
I'm trying to tell you, brother, it's like this. You eat your vitamins and you take your saline and then you take a poop and then you just live life. Don't give a shit. Matter of fact, give a shit. Give 3-4 shits. No,
I take that saline. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That saline solution will do that. It'll do it.
It sounds like you were talking off of personal experience, but I'll let you share that in a minute. Of course, the First Lady of S2T, the quintessential hip hop mom, Keisha with a Y. What's good, Kate?
What's up, y'all? It's Keisha with a Y, aka Hip Hop Mom, aka it's been a long time since I seen y'all, mom, and the mom's favorite mom.
No doubt. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, our social media assassin for the Double Deuce, ladies and gentlemen, Rob the Actual.
Yep, Rob the Actual in here. Look at this profile, man. Just bask. Bask.
God. Why are we
bask,
basking in the
bask
profile
for
right
that
now?
ask?
Why? God.
Bask for that ask.
Oh
That is
man. Yeah,
almost as bad as Perry talking about his hair, but I'm gonna let you live.
Yeah, I'm borderline, right? Yeah, let me get off that. Anyway,
Yep.
it's your boy in the building. What's going on? Got a hot show for you tonight. So thank you for joining in. If you're watching us live, go ahead and drop a reaction. Go ahead and drop a heart. Go ahead and drop a thumbs up, a like, share the stream, and you already know, man. I'm about to get it started. Ding.
Yes, we are. Look, got an interesting conversation today. It's not about Rob's beard. It's not about my hair. Okay. But we are gonna have a good conversation regarding pretty much regarding guns. Okay. We're gonna talk a little gun law and legislation with one of our guests today, that being attorney Christopher M. Young Esquire, as well as we're going to talk some personal defense with our man Asim Muqtasid. Okay. Now, as always, you can catch Straight to Tape Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on Twitch. And remember, we have an audio version of Straight to Tape. Okay. That audio version of Straight to Tape is powered by Acast, and you can catch it on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, and of course Apple Podcasts, plus others. Yes, plus others. So make sure you catch us there. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. That's Facebook, that's IG, that's Twitter, Straight to Tape, and of course S2T Media. That's our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribing, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification button so you can be in tune with your favorite content creators of unapologetic content and conversation. And we got some new stuff coming soon. So definitely be on the lookout. Did I say D? Yeah, I said D. Be on D lookout.
You're vernacular today.
Yo, early man on the check-in. Gotta say what's up to Daniel, Felicia, my man Jay Cook on the check-in. Listen, bro, this might not be the last conversation we have on this, so I'll keep you in mind for that. But man, stick around, man. We might mess around and send you the link. But and Candy with the shade, you know what you're doing with that, Candy. Look at her, Key. Look at her, Key.
Taco Tuesday again. Okay.
No, damn well we can't come to her house for Taco Tuesday, but she rubbing it in. That's all that is.
You better have us on the big screen, okay? I'll say
For
that.
real. For
I'll
real.
definitely, I will definitely say that. But look,
This is gonna be a great show. That's why I'm wearing short sleeves so I can bear arms. Let's get it going.
exactly. Let's get it on. Let's get it going.
Here we go.
And you know how we like to start the show. We take a look at some of the news topics that are going on in a section of the show that we like to call the headline grab. That's right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, while we were on our break, nope, not that one. While we were on our break, it looks like this went down. Congress passed bipartisan gun safety laws.
All right.
Now,
For bodegas
Yeah.
and breakfast tacos.
yeah, well, okay. So, while we were gone, Congress came to a decision. First, of course, it started off with the Senate. The Senate did, were able to pass a bipartisan bill. They were able to get 10 Republicans to vote on guns, vote on a gun safety legislation. It went over to the House. It won going down party lines, and the president did sign it into law. But look, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started on that conversation, I did want to go ahead and bring he hasn't been on the show in a while. I'm real happy to have him back. He is actually the legal analyst for Straight to Tape, and he has his own podcast called The Pod Cases, which is usually on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely worth checking out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Straight to Tape. Attorney Christopher M. Young Esquire. What is up, good brother?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hello, how are
Good,
you?
man. What's going on with you?
Well, I thought y'all fired me, man.
Nah, man.
Nah, bruh, nah.
You know, we had to go back and check to see if our retainer, you know what I'm saying, how much money we had on our retainer. Jeez, Louise.
Ain't no money. Ain't no money.
Yeah, I
Ain't no-
agree
ain't no money,
I can go
ain't no
ahead
money.
and tell you that.
Zero.
I mean, you are the federal lawyer, so we always got to make sure the money's tight when we bring you on. So.
Hey, man, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I just want to play you in the movie. That's all.
Man, I'm just glad to be here amongst you guys, man, on this stimulating, educating, hilarious podcast. I appreciate it. I always appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We've
Yo,
been called
man.
a lot worse, man. Thanks.
Hey, man,
Boy, have we.
I really appreciate it.
Most definitely. Yo, so Congress passed this bill, man. I'm excited. It's long overdue, like what, 30 years in the making, right? It's like fucking, it's like a J. Cole, J Electronica album and shit. Just waiting on that shit to pop off.
Hey, man.
It's fine to pop off, man.
Well, man, I hate to come in and be a pessimist so early.
Now do that.
No, there are plenty of them here. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Drop it. Kick it, Chris.
Well, first I have to say, President Biden did grant one of my clients a clemency. I'm sorry, commutation. I was actually in the first wave. I think that was April. I was in the first wave of people. The first 78, I had a guy up in Richmond, Virginia, who I had been fighting for a while, and he was granted a commutation, and I was happy about that. He was a first time offender, doing about 28 years for cocaine, and he was able to get some relief. So I was happy about that. That's actually my second one. My first one was actually a guy who was a student at North Carolina Central back in about 1991, and I was able to. He had about a 35-year sentence, and I got him out in about 20. I'm happy for President Biden for that.
However,
man, the bipartisan gun bill, I guess I guess it's all we can do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, to me, it's like a band-aid on an infection. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because these guys, man, once in our country, once we make something illegal, what happens? It just goes to the black market.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? Just go. These guys are not saying, "Oh, let me go get a gun today and I'm gonna shoot something up tomorrow." They getting a gun and they plotting. Like, and what kind of really pisses me off is we own everything else. If one of us five go on tonight and type "kill the president," people watching us. You know what I'm
They're
saying?
gonna be knocking at our door
They
tomorrow.
knocking at your door. And they're knocking at kids' doors and all this stuff, but you got this same demographic of people who continue to do this stuff, man. And they not just searching, they telling people. They like
Right.
texting people, like other weirdos.
Whole
Saying, hey,
manifestos. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, this is just ridiculous, man. I mean, it has to be something else we can do. No, and if I'm wrong, y'all tell me, because I hadn't read it thoroughly, but I didn't see anywhere in there where they were going to ban AR-15s, they were going to ban AK-47s, they were going to make those illegal. I didn't see anything in there about that. I saw, the red flag laws, the domestic violence stuff, the money
Well,
for.
The domestic, yeah,
Uh,
well,
that's the boyfriend-in-law, right?
yeah,
That's that boyfriend.
yeah,
Law.
Mm-hmm.
Chris. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, here's some of the points that that the bill hits on. Okay, the enhanced background checks for 18 to 21, the incentives for states to implement the red flag laws, more school safety funding, mental health funding,
Mm-hmm.
telehealth funding, clarification on who receives FFLs, and penalties for straw purchases. Now, I mean, I could look at when I look at it, I mean, I could look at it as it's a start. Okay, that's the only way I can really look at it, is it's a start, and that's me trying to be extremely optimistic. Okay, because it still does not, you know it still does not address a lot of problems, but at least it's a start. I mean, what do everyone else think?
I think it's like the Denzel Oscar thing. You know what I'm saying? Out of all them great movies he done did, he only get an Oscar for damn playing Training Day, right? And that was just to please us because we were boycotting the Oscars. I think this right here is about the same scenario. You just the government. Nobody's been really trusting the government for a minute, dog. You know what I'm saying? So you have to give the people at least something. You know what I'm saying? Something like at least we could work together on something because they haven't been working together for you know what I'm saying, for a
Well,
long time, unless you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes, behind the curtains.
But,
But
but what do you
anywho,
what does that look like though, Tico? This is a bipartisan gun reform bill. They got
right.
together and worked on
Exactly.
something.
That's what I meant. They worked it and they got it. So so it looks like the government can do some work instead of all this, you know what I'm saying, what they doing. This Democrat this, Republican this, you know what I'm saying? They have to the government has to do something, you know what I'm saying? I just think the thread of our democracy is you feel me?
can I ask a question though?
Yeah.
Are they are, on that list that Perry just put up? What would stop a mass shooting, or let's
Nothing.
say,
Right.
let's say one of let's not even say a mass shooting. Let's say one of the ones that's happened so far this summer. Like nothing on there stops any of these mass shootings. Man, we got it. Like I don't like to be placated. Like I mean,
Man.
just putting a little band-aid on it, man. Let's call it what it is, man. When these people act crazy, you got to tag them. Like if you act crazy and you need to be you getting committed or you got to get tagged and you should not be able to get a gun. Not that
Mhm.
quickly, man. It's not. I mean, you got a Second Amendment right, but rights are violated every day. I can give you a million times. Fourth Amendment is violated. 14th Amendment is violated. Hell, we got to violate the second one at some point. Everybody just can't get no gun. If you done told people you gonna kill somebody, you gonna do this, and you young, and a lot of these young people they ain't even fully developed in their brain, then you can't get no gun. You don't need to be able to walk in. You don't need to be able to go to no gun show. And if your mama or daddy get it for you, they need to do the time. But I mean, you just can't do that, man. We can't.
I feel
we had like Second Amendment is just the only amendment we can't touch, man.
Yeah,
I've got 1,000 warrantless searches that go through the court every day. That's the Fourth Amendment. There's a lot of First Amendment violations, but you get the second. Oh no, you got to get people gun. They want a gun. Yeah, if you want a gun, get a gun. Why you got to get an AR-15 and you kind of snapped off before?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, if there's the qualifier, if you snapped off before, you know what I'm saying? So deal with them people. This measure is a start towards that. And this is what people have been clamoring for a long time, but now it seems like it's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
I mean, people have been
right now. It is
people have been clamoring for this and more. Like they basically grabbed the low hanging fruit of everything that people have been talking about for years and years and years. On July 4th, there were 220 people killed and almost 600 people wounded on the July 4th of 2022. That shit on that list,
and 11 of those. And then forget, Kate, 11 of those were quote unquote mass shootings. Okay,
the shit on that list does nothing to stop that.
Yeah,
nothing.
It doesn't.
But then everybody's clamoring for making AR-15s and AK-47s and sporting rifles the bad guy. Okay, ban them. Then mass shootings are going to happen with handguns. Matter of fact, most mass shootings are carried out with handguns.
Mm-hmm.
So, but everybody wants to demonize AR-15s and whatnot. Like it doesn't really make it make sense.
No, look, I'm sorry, Rob. Rob, you raised a great point. Okay, I'll say this. My whole thing is, and I hate to simplify it like this. Okay, before I can legally get a car, okay, I should at least have to go through driver's education. Mm-hmm. All right. And I feel the same way when it comes to gun ownership. You have to, okay? You have to. You cannot get past that. All right. Will that stop mass shootings? I'm sorry, it won't. It will not, because if someone wants to kill a bunch of people, whether they have a legally purchased firearm or have an illegally purchased firearm, they are going to do it.
Shit, postmen used to do it back in the 70s. Remember that? Remember post officers used to go buck wild? They didn't have no AR. Okay, you know what I'm saying? They just had handguns.
Shut up.
That's real talk, yo. That's real talk, yo. Remember back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Whenever somebody went with this, they were going postal, because postal workers used to go shell and shoot up their fucking job because that shit was fucking stressful. You know what I'm saying? But now it's schools, you know.
So there's a measure. There's a measure in the bill about strengthening schools. I think that needs to happen. I always thought that needed to happen before schools started getting shot up, because I mean, because I'm always kind of like the security minded person. I have gone and done like assessments at my son's schools at each stage of his education and found them terribly lacking. Doors just unlocked and swinging open, propped open with a cinder block, all types of shit. So let's deal with, as they say, hardening the schools and strengthening the school security. And that will help, you know what I'm saying, alleviate these mass shootings, especially at schools. You know what I'm saying?
So schools should be a fortress. I mean, I know we need to protect our kids, but if we didn't have these issues of mass shootings, more so than any other country on this earth, then a school could be a place where kids went to learn as opposed to having to be locked down and locked in and people locked out. Like, I get it. I completely get the need, but the need wouldn't be there if we didn't need it. Well, if it didn't start back with Columbine, like if we, what you're saying, makes absolute complete sense, Rob. It makes absolute complete sense, but it should not be necessary. To have.
Thing?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
To have armed guards and shit protecting my kids at school, it shouldn't be necessary. School is a place where kids go to learn and have fun. And metal detectors and armed guards. And as we saw in Highland Park, the cops didn't do shit anyway.
Well, I mean,
it is necessary. I get it. It's necessary, but it shouldn't be.
Yeah, Chris.
Well, I think the scary part for me is like it's ridiculous that I have to double think taking my kids to a Juneteenth event, you know, because you know, first it was schools, then you got this idiot who does it at a parade. What's gonna happen when somebody decides to do it at a tailgate? Or I mean, people never look at and think about, you know, how many people are at like the Ohio State Michigan game or places like that. Nobody's checking you when you pull into the tailgate. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't get into the stadium, but what about when it starts to happen there? Because all these people, all of these crimes are copycat. You know what I mean? They're all copycat. So now you say, oh man, somebody's sitting around. I never thought about a parade. Wow. And then these guys are doing research. We going back and forth looking. I mean, this is so bad. We ain't even touched on Buffalo, the grocery store. I mean, it's crazy, man. Like I mean, when is like enough to where we say, hey, I mean, this is crazy. And then I don't even want to touch on the fact that the way that this stuff goes, everybody is always arrested peacefully. I mean, nobody dies.
Nobody dies
unless they kill themselves. Unless they kill themselves.
Exactly.
Hey, you know what?
Well, the problem I have with that when people bring that up, and I understand the sentiment and everything. I get it, right? The problem that I have with that is if they catch them and subdue them, then they can't. Then they have no grounds to just execute them. I mean, as heinous as I'm not speaking up for these people. I'm just saying, as heinous as the crime is,
it's proper policing, right? It's proper policing.
It's proper policing.
We don't get that. That's what he's saying. We don't get that. And there's definitely resentment and animosity,
right?
When we can't even fucking sell a loose cigarette out of a store, a loose cigarette to a person who wants to buy a cigarette consensually, a cigarette, and these motherfuckers are killing multiple people, and they get taken in peacefully and alive. What I'm saying.
Are they supposed to just get?
No. I'm just
gun the fuck
to
down.
You the resentment that exists,
and I get
because of situations like this.
It's just so common. Mean, that's it. Like,
it is very common. They ain't killed none of these last few motherfuckers. None of them. And they've all been taken into unless
60 times.
Right. So unless they've been taken into unless they committed suicide, or unless they committed suicide, they've been taken into custody.
Well, I mean, except for the kid in Uvalde, okay, who was shot. I mean, granted, it was after 2 hours, but he didn't come out of that alive. And he didn't do it himself.
One out of many.
Yeah.
This is heavy.
Yeah. If we protect banks and sporting events, we should protect kids. Like, yep.
They don't protect the people in the banks. They protect the money in the banks.
Right.
That's the money.
Message.
But I mean, yes, definitely
banks
there's
and sporting events. And you know what I'm saying?
They're protecting the money at the sporting event.
Come on, fam. Come on. Don't oversimplify it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not oversimplifying.
They're not protecting money at a sporting event. They're protecting everybody. They're protecting
assets.
They're protecting everybody.
I mean, there are police at any given large event. right? When I dropped my 5-year-old at kindergarten, I mean, I guess I'm thinking about how I grew up and how my kids grew up, as opposed to how these children are going to have to adapt to having, because a lot of schools already have resource officers, so they're putting more funds to make this protection at schools more robust, which means more armed guards. Yeah. I'm thinking about the how this affects kids' mental going to school with a bunch of fucking armed guards. And maybe it won't, right? I can only speak for what I went through as a child and what I went through as a parent with my children. And how showing up to school one day and there's 4 fucking armed guards at the elementary school would affect me as a child and my kids. But the world adapts and evolves to current circumstances, and maybe it'll be okay. But it just seems like that money is going. It's just misplaced.
And to your point, I do remember a time when I went to school, there weren't any security guards. There weren't any. I don't remember security guards or off-duty police. And doors used to be. You could come right up to the school and walk right the fuck in. You know what I'm saying?
When you were in middle school, you walk back and went to go visit your teachers in fucking elementary school, and you just walk right in. And okay, that can't happen anymore. But the reasons why it can't happen is bullshit to me. Like this concern and thoughts and fucking prayers and this money is not in the right place. And this shit on that list that Perry showed is low fucking hanging fruit. And people do not want to have hard conversations. People do not want to take things away. Again, I'm not going to give you the heroin reference, but they want to take things away that are bad for people, because there's we know this. There is follow the fucking money, yo. It's not going to happen. So this low hanging fruit is supposed to satiate people that have been talking and asking for some type of gun reform for years.
And that's what it's a circular argument. That's what's happening. People have been clamoring for it, and it's happening now. So what's next?
They've been clamoring for something inclusive of this. Hey, every 3 months I have Taco Bell. When the damn Jiggy came back, the Mexican pizza? Mm-hmm. Excited. Within a 2-week period, I went to 3 different Taco Bells and got 1 Mexican pizza. I've been wanting the Mexican pizza since it came out, since when they took it off the menu. And I got that one, which quelled my desire for a Mexican pizza, but I could have had more Mexican pizzas. I wanted more. All the little shit on that list, yes, people who've been clamoring for gun control, they wanted those things, but there's a whole lot of shit that probably more impactful and more important than the shit on that list that group of people wanted. But we're not going to get that, because you have to follow the dollars, and the dollars say we get to just be okay with this little list.
Well, let me say, you are so right, because you got to follow the dollars. And for a long time, gun manufacturers were some of the only manufacturers that could not be sued. I think something has recently happened. Don't quote me, but you couldn't sue a gun manufacturer if their weapons were used in these kind of events. So the NRA is strong. Second Amendment. Second Amendment, people who support Second Amendment are very strong. And like I said from the beginning, it's something that nobody wants to touch. But it all goes back to what you said, the money, right? It goes back to the money.
No, go ahead, finish your thought, man. But I have a question to that point.
Go ahead.
Okay. what good is suing the gun manufacturers going to do? And actually, what sense does it make? Because are you going to sue a knife manufacturer if somebody gets stabbed to death?
They can. You can sue them. If
Why?
somebody start killing people that only Hondas, I bet you Honda gets sued. Gun manufacturers could not be
Why is
sued.
Honda or a knife manufacturer responsible?
Why did McDonald's get
How
sued
are
for
they?
selling hot coffee? It's America. It's America. My point is, and I get your point. My point is the fact that they were shielded from being sued shows something about our country. Because anybody can sue anybody, right? I mean, hell, it might not go anywhere, but anybody can sue anybody. They had the same protection that these officers had in I lost my thought, but they had protections. Gun manufacturers had protections against being sued. I mean, nobody else has it in this country. No other manufacturer. Like you said, hey, you get stabbed, somebody may sue the knife manufacturer. They may sue them and say something as silly as, hey, the knife was too sharp. And they may be awarded some money. I go back to McDonald's. The coffee was too hot. Lady got 7 figures. And now every time you pick up a coffee cup, what's on it? Content's hot.
Yep.
Content's hot. You can't
Americans,
buy no coffee cups anywhere.
It's a very litigious country, like it is. That's why a lot of the bullshit that happens.
Not against guns, though.
Yep, not against guns.
To that point, it's all types of warnings and labels and all types of shit on ammunition, on gun boxes, in the literature, on the guns themselves about gun safety.
Right.
To that point, it's all types of warnings. Please read your manual. They make you sign all types of shit when you go to purchase a gun from a legally licensed federally licensed firearms dealer.
I mean, we go through all this, right? But can we just really hit down to the meat of it? Like, crazy's fucking crazy. It doesn't matter. Like Rob said earlier, you got a gun, you're going to shoot them. You got a car, you're going to drive through a fucking damn parade. You know what I'm saying? You got water skis. Shit, you fucking probably do a fucking summer float and fucking damn cut his head off with his fucking, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying, man, what we really need to do is, like, this country is hurt mentally. And we're hurting because there's no jobs here. We're not working. And things is about to get real. Inflation is up. But motherfucking job pays is still the same. This shit is about to get gritty. It's about to get gritty. And it doesn't matter. I mean, the stricter laws for the younger kids. You know what I'm saying? A tougher background check. What the fuck? I mean, why can't you just make them 21 till you get a gun?
You ain't got no background at 18 years old. If you ain't never done shit,
exactly,
like you have
exactly.
You ain't got no credit score.
Exactly.
You can't buy cigarettes or alcohol.
Right.
Like it's that is low fucking hanging fruit.
But,
I don't know who is satisfied, but nobody.
But I understand what Rob is saying. I understand what Rob is saying. That it's this step. At least they took a fucking step. And we could, hopefully this just won't be no one trick pony. Maybe they can build on this shit, build it down like they should do. You know what I'm saying? They should be breaking this shit down. All fucking laws. But I don't know,
guys, look, I gotta add another voice to this, okay? Because we do have another guest on deck, okay? And our other guest, of course, known as Cat for forever, all right? Rapper, MC, father, personal defense specialist. And I'll have him break that down as it relates to personal defense. Look, ladies and gentlemen, joining us in the S2T virtual studio, the homie, Asim. Muqtasid.
Hey, Sammy.
What's up, Sim?
Sim.
Can we hear you?
Can't hear
Sim,
you, bro.
Can't
hear you, bro. Can't hear you.
Did you move? You moved.
Oh,
there you go.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah,
let's get a mic check.
Hello. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Lima Charlie, bro. Lima Charlie.
Okay. Okay. I'm having
Turn your
problems
computer
hearing
down a
y'all
little
though for
bit
some
though.
reason. What the hell is going on here? Why can't I hear y'all?
Man, you got
I
a
hear
black
us
man. You
out
got
of
a
the
white van out in the
speaker.
back of your house, man. You got a black van outside your house, man. See, that's what happens. That's what happens. Straight to tape, boy.
We're
Trying to tell you, boy.
No,
I
we
got
talked.
kidnapped for 3 weeks.
Yeah, you sure did. He was calling us from the bush. Seriously, calling us from the bush. And look, we'll get Asim back. We'll definitely get Asim back in here. But
yo, man, let me. Okay, there is somebody fighting. There is somebody fighting for these AR-15s, man. I don't know if y'all heard about him. His name is Jerome Davison. Have you heard about him?
Break it down.
He's a black Republican and he's running for Congress for Arizona.
I saw that cat.
Right.
I saw that ad he did.
So he just did an ad saying that the AR-15s is not the problem. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need that ammunition, you're gonna need them guns when them Democratic KKK members come around, you know what I'm saying? And you need to empty your clip. That's basically the gist of the fucking video. So he goes into the point of saying that he wants to bring to light that the KKK was started by the Democrats, and that and the only way to take them out, you know what I'm saying, is to shoot them with this, you know what I'm saying, AR-15 and them 30 rounds. That's what he said.
But Tico, look, I understand that, okay, but also at the same time, here we go politicizing racism again, okay. I'm sorry, all right. And this is not me defending a party, okay, because I call them both. I call them both for the bullshit that they bring. But at the same time, and we've had arguments with certain people about this before. The Democratic Party might have been the power behind the Ku Klux Klan, but that ended in the late 60s when a lot of them shifted parties.
That is so. I mean, I don't like that.
We don't need to go down there.
Propaganda.
But I'm not going down there. We're not going down there.
It's so weird. But anyway, I talk about that because that's his whole campaign. His whole campaign is running off. Matter of fact, I think it's here it is. His campaign slogan is "Make rifles great again." Yeah.
I mean, okay.
I'm just saying.
Y'all know.
I'm just saying that there's somebody's fighting for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know that there's somebody out there fighting the fight for that. You know what I'm saying? NFL.
I got you. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. Make rifles great again. I mean, I'm still able to go and buy AR-15. I don't. You know what I mean? I guess I get what he's saying. You know what I mean? It's a little extreme. I have to look. I haven't seen it. I'm just going based on what you're saying. I have to.
Oh, you got to watch it, man.
Check it out.
He's standing in the corner like Malcolm X. He's standing in the corner like Malcolm X.
If I may interject, what people tend to misinterpret when let's talk about the AR-15. I would love to talk about the AR-15 if you allow me to. The AR-15. The AR-15 is basically this. It's like saying a sedan. It's not like saying an AR-15. The AR-15 isn't like that. The reason why AR-15 is dangerous is because of the stigmatism associated with the AR-15. But let's just say it's a sedan. It's like saying calling a car a sedan. There's a sedan coupe. There's a sports sedan. There's a family sedan. It's an AR-15. An AR-15 is just the style of rifle. It doesn't mean that it makes it more dangerous or less dangerous than any other rifle. There's rifles out there that's called a Mini 14. It shoots the same thing as an AR-15, and honestly, it's more deadly than an AR-15. In fact, I have a visual aid here.
Oh, shit.
This.
Lord, we got guns on the damn show.
It's an AR-15.
This ain't the first time we had guns on the show.
I am a licensed firearm instructor. I do own a few guns. But this is an AR-15 pistol. It's classified a pistol because it can be shot with one hand and because of the length of the barrel.
Absolutely.
Now, what's this? It's just a backpack, right? It's regular school backpack.
Classic Jan Sport.
But everybody pull out a trapper keeper.
But in this backpack was this.
Ooh.
So
That's
what?
The Kel-Tec John, right?
This is the Kel-Tec. This is a 40 caliber rifle. I put this in a normal backpack that your kids would take to school with them, that anybody could be riding on a bus anywhere. That AR-15, it seems dangerous and ominous and scary and all that, but I just pulled this out of backpack like it was nothing. And people have very big misconceptions about guns.
To your point, like a mini.
I got.
There you go.
Now.
There you go. I see it. There you go.
This is a hunting rifle. This is a hunting rifle. This is used
I shot that one.
This is used to get game to feed your family. But the thing is,
that's the sweet shooter. I shot that one.
Yes, it is. But it shoots the same bullet as this does. The same bullet. And that bullet is tiny. It's small. It's this big. This is the bullet it shoots.
This is a 22 long rifle rimfire.
To show you the difference of what it. This is the bullet. Oh, but this is what I carry on my everyday. My gun shoots these
9mm.
We have a very big misconception about what guns can do and how dangerous they are, and we need to be a little bit more educated on how that whole thing works. And to add into what you're saying, let's be truthful here. The others are never going to put laws that are going to infringe on their own rights. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
they're not going to do that.
Yep.
They're just not going to do that. So if you're wondering why legislation only goes but so far, that's because it's that simple. It's always been like that. It's never been like that. Gun control, literally, probably, if I can't say literally, but figuratively, gun control is rooted in racism.
Yep.
Gun control in the United States started as a measure to keep guns out of the hands of black people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yep. I believe you.
Now, and honestly, don't be 100% real. I have no answers. I got no answers.
Damn, that was my next question.
On how to fix it.
So, what do you think? How do you think we fix this? But never mind.
How we fix it is honestly, how we fix it is educating ourselves, and I would say arming ourselves too. But that's really like
everybody can drive a car.
It's a double-edged sword because
right.
I in Wisdom Code Solutions, in my company, I try to specifically center on personal defense. Mm-hmm. People use the term self-defense, and what I've learned as the more I've been educated and the more I progressed forward in everything that I've learned and everything I'm learning, self-defense is a concept of marketing. And the reason I say that is because teaching someone self-defense is like saying, if this happens, you can do this and stop an attacker. Anybody who's ever been in law enforcement or any type of military or any type of defense or anything will tell you, a plan sometimes is just a list of things. Just because you plan to do things a certain way doesn't mean that's how it's going to end up. And Mike Tyson put it as simple as it gets. Everybody got a plan.
Sure did.
Until they get punched in the face.
Mm-hmm. And that was including Mike.
And people and people walk around all the time, and that's what kills me too, because people walk around all the time. Well, I got my pistol now, and can't nobody, and I wish they would. I shoot. Nah. You don't never want to be in a position where you have to use your firearm, because even if you come out on top, it's not a good day.
Right.
If you have to shoot an assailant, break it into your house, you're going to forever be reminded every time you walk by that area that you put somebody down in your home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your children are going to live in fear. Yeah. And it's wild. Like I said, these conversations, they need to be had, but it's wild because we never look at the big picture. Like
we're so desensitized too, like through media and entertainment and video games and shit. We're like, you just think it's like reset and everything's okay, and you still, like you said, have to deal with that mental for the rest of your life if you put somebody down.
And
Someone
let me
brought
just
this.
add on. Just one
Go
second.
ahead, Chris.
And I tell people this all the time. You got to deal with the court system.
Yes,
I was about to bring
yes.
that up.
You got to deal with the fact you have to allege self-defense, which means
Yes.
you probably have to get a lawyer. And for a murder, a lawyer is going to cost you upwards of $50,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't get that money back.
You need some insurance. Get you some self-defense insurance. It's out there. But you know, Chris, listen to Chris.
Exactly. I mean, I tell people they're like, oh man, somebody do this, I'll pop them. Nah, man, you better be careful. And if you don't believe me, look at this. Look at the man in the nice neighborhood in Cary who was breaking in his car. A lot of people don't know you cannot shoot somebody for harming your personal property.
Exactly. You cannot. You cannot.
You got to wait for that person to try to harm you, not your property.
Yes.
Right.
We
went to jail, had a $50,000 bond.
When I'm instructing someone about that, I like to use what's called they call it a Shark Tank argument. If you're standing by a Shark Tank and your child falls in there, you're not going to think twice. You're going to jump right in there and try to get them out with total disregard of yourself. But let's say it's your Apple Watch that falls in there.
Yeah.
Well, let's say it's your phone or your Apple Watch that falls in there. You're not just going to jump in there and not think twice. But this is how you have to think when you carry. That's how you got to think when you carry a firearm. Just because somebody's yelling and spitting in my face and calling me all types of names, this is what somebody brought to my attention. I study martial arts. I know how to shoot. I like to think that I can handle myself. But let's be real here. If I beat someone, even with all of you knowing me, if y'all walk up and he's laying there bloody and I'm standing there with a knife in my hand or a gun and I'm like, he started it. You're going to question like, well, Asim, did you really have to do that to the dude? Really?
Yeah.
Like, did you really have to do all that?
Was there no other way? Was there no other way?
Was there no other way? You didn't. I would love for you to vouch for me and say, I would love for you to vouch for me and say, if Asim did that to him, then apparently this guy was really asking for it.
It's an imminent threat.
But none of you are going to be sitting on that jury. None of you are going to be in that courtroom to back me up. And that's just how it's going to go down. And that's the reality of violence. That's the reality of what we deal with. And another part I didn't get a chance to add on it. When you think about these mass shootings happen, keep in mind these people don't go places like gun ranges or to gang or areas where gangsters hang out. They go to no gun zones. In Kennesaw, Georgia, they have a zero break-in, I think. I think they have a zero break-in rate. But also in Kennesaw, Georgia, you are required to own a firearm to be a resident of that county.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's what's up. But yeah, like to your point earlier, man, and to Chris's point, man, like being licensed to carry a firearm is great and all that fly stuff. And you know what I mean? It's cool to have a everyday carry and yada yada yada, because I mean I practice that myself, but bruh, having to use it is like one of the last things on earth I want to have to go through.
You'll never want to do that.
Saying, but it's not only because, like you said, like the taking of somebody's life or whatever, but bruh, even if it's justified self-defense, bruh, I'm gonna get hemmed up some kind of way, and I gotta go about, like Chris was saying, proving my innocence. It's not gonna be just, oh yeah, this is clear cut and dry. You know, I don't want to get detained. I don't want to be in handcuffs unless it's
lose your job.
But yeah,
shut up. Lose your job, your livelihood,
right?
Your social circles are affected. Like
I don't want to go through. Yeah, I don't want 5 minutes behind bars, bro. I don't want to sit in the back of a police car.
You got to deal with the person you harmed. You got to deal with their family.
Well, I read a book. Someone turned me onto a book called "On Killing" by Lieutenant Dan Grossman, and it explained the psychological things that you go through after taking a life. And it was one of the most interesting reads I've ever read in my life. And there is a humanity connected into all of us, an innate humanity. And we're all taught that taking a life is wrong. And don't think that just because you're a soldier or you're a cop or whatever, if you're a sane human being and you've taken a life, that eats at your soul. That takes a bite out of your soul, and it's going to live with you till the day that you die. You might have bad dreams for the rest of your life. You're going to have to go through counseling. You're going to need all types of help. Even if you did it to protect your family, the moral standing that you had to take a life is going to stick with you for forever. If you're if you're any type of human being.
I think that people have this thing about, you know, it's not like it is on TV, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think people think like that it's going, because have you ever had the unfortunate experience of actually seeing somebody get shot, like on video or even live? I haven't never seen it live, but I've seen it on video.
Rob, that shit is devastating, bro. Rob, keep in mind this though. We are living with children that do not know what it was like pre Grand Theft Auto. We are raising generations of children who do not know what life was like before Grand Theft Auto. We are so desensitized to violence. We used to worship animals and nurture them, and then when we took their lives for the food on our tables, we gave homage to that. When our parents died, we would put them in the living room and let other people come by, and we used to see what that person's death did to other family members and did to people. Now we have mortuaries, and we don't have to deal with that. We don't have to deal with the we are desensitized to life and death. These are struggles, this natural part of our lives. And on top of that, to add into that, we have shows and we have The Wire, we have Rambo, we have action film stars that kill each other with machine guns and all types of. It's a different world that has desensitized us to the idea of taking a life, and it's a sad thing, but you know, this is where we're at now.
And Sam, and look, just to be honest, and I'll go ahead and say it, you know, a lot of that desensitizing started with our generation. Let's be real. A lot of that desensitizing started with our generation. Okay, you know, and it goes from. It went from the music that we listened to. It went from the situations that we were in. Let me just share this story real quick, because Rob used to always Rob gets pissed off every time I share this story. We were at a club, okay, and we were outside after the club, and some cats walked up. I mean, the cats were outside and they were shooting. And
this Plum Crazy when De La Soul was there?
Yes,
that night, that very night.
We were all there. We were all there.
Yeah, okay. And you know, I forgot what girl I was talking to. I forgot what girl Damage was talking to. But we sit up there talking to these honeys, and Rob is like, "Dude, come on! Didn't you see somebody shoot?" And me and Damage was like, "Yeah," and we went back to talking. Okay,
these dumb motherfuckers standing there like Tom Sizemore in Black Hawk Down, just walking around and bullets just flying everywhere and shit. They shooting. I'm like, bro, and they ride with me. I'm like, yo, I'm leaving.
Do y'all remember when
shooting?
You remember when Apple Chill was in Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
Like the last few times. Last few times before it left. A couple of times when we was kids, they used to shoot that up. And we've been the gun violence really did desensitize us. But let's be real here. It was happening way before then. When spaghetti westerns and kung fu movies, it was started around then. It's just, this is where we're at now. And there's a false sense of security along with that. You know, that Superman complex.
You know, cowboy movies and back in cowboy times, I think that was the only time they really had gun control, because once you came into town, you either hand your guns to the sheriff, or if you go into that saloon, you got to put your guns up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was the only time in history that I could recall, you know what I'm saying, total gun control.
We used to be able to just, if you wanted to buy a gun, you should just be able to walk in the store and be like, I want that one. And they'd be like, all right, here you go. You didn't have to sign a piece of paper or anything like that, or you could just buy it, you know. But you know, so who's to say, like, so now we're recording names and social security numbers and all this other stuff, and keeping a registry of who got this and who got that gun. But the most dangerous people who have them aren't the ones who are going through these legal channels. It's the ones who go around these loopholes, go around that and obtain them. And another thing that blows my mind and everything I've learned, the most dangerous people I've ever met do not need a gun to hurt you. They'll take yours from you and beat the crap out of you with it. They won't even fire
it. And one thing that kind of one thing that I see a lot, man, and just in my work is the young people. These, particularly, man, like when I'm up in DC, the DMV area, man, a lot of those guys in jail that are taking lives are 16, 17, 18. And it's like they do it without any other afterthought. And it's like
they don't understand.
Yeah, and I was gonna say maybe you can speak to that, because like when they do, that's why I tell people, like, hey, when it comes to these young boys, I'm getting the hell out the way, because they will do it and won't blink. They'll do it and go to the club or something.
They have not understood their own humanity yet to understand what they are doing by taking a life. It's a gradual time as they haven't lived a life, so they don't know what it's like to take a life. They don't know what it's like. They've never been out of their state. Some of them, they've never been. Some of them have never been past their county line. They've never lived. So what did they? So it's easy to take something if you don't know what it means to somebody else. That's so easy to do. And one thing that any killer will tell you, or I shouldn't say any killer, but anybody who's even been in a situation like that, pulling the trigger is the easy part. Waking up the next day and living with yourself after you do it, that's where it gets complicated. Every soldier, every person that I've had the experience and the pleasure of even listening to their story or having them explain to me what they've been through, they all stand behind that. Pulling the trigger was the easy part. Actually doing that was it was like a cruise control. It might some of them didn't even want to do it. Some of them had to be ordered. Fire that pistol, soldier. Kill that man before he kills us. They had to be, they had to be told to do it. They didn't want to do it. There's a large misconception in this world over violence and how these things and these individuals, and I will admit, it's a racism thing. It's so funny when people say Black Lives Matter, they just think about cops shooting kids. They don't think about, Black Lives Matter, the whole thing about you locking these kids up and sending them to jail and putting them in front of a judge. It all matters. It all matters. The money that they don't have, the jobs they don't have, it all matters. It all matters. It all fed the same system. It's all feeding the same mentality, and it's all causing the same problem. But we just want to focus on one facet of it and say that that's the problem. That's why we can't fix it, because we're just focusing on that one facet of the problem.
Yeah, so true. So true. Asim, look, you explained personal defense, okay? Talk a little bit about what you teach with your company, Wisdom Code Solutions.
Wisdom Code Solutions, my company basically, I myself, I'm a firearms instructor. I teach the basics of firearms. I'll teach you how to load the gun, how to clean the gun, how to fire it, just the basics. If you would like to become more advanced, or if you need security for your home or security for your venue, or any type of cybersecurity I'm working on now. I'm talking with a gentleman about getting cybersecurity. My whole ideology is just being safe, safety first, of just trying to be safe, educate ourselves and our people on keeping our community safe. Because a lot of us just buy a gun and just put it away, and we don't think anything else about it. We don't go to the range. We don't practice with it. We don't understand that actually living safe is a mindset. It's a whole lifestyle change. It's something that you have to retrain yourself in the actually living, to actually be proficient in navigating, I guess I should say. And this is where Wisdom Code Solution can help you figure that out.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of going to the range and shooting with brother Asim, and we had a good
I hope
time.
the small tips I gave you, I hope
this,
help you out a little bit. I'm and the truth is, I'm no expert. It's going to take years for me to be an expert in anything. I like to think that I'm proficient and that I know enough to teach someone else to be better, but I don't like to fancy myself as an expert. And I reserve that for other people who I honor and who teach me some incredible things. I've learned such incredible things. I used to love action films as a child, and that's what really got me interested in the guns and martial arts and things like that. But I made a point to someone the other day: if people who think that I'm a badass or think that no, if I could shoot and I could fight good, why would I learn these things in the first place?
Hey, check this out. So
Good
Roger
point.
brings up a great point in the comments. He says, if you have a gun, and this kind of speaks to your point a minute ago, Asim, as far as keeping up practice and everything. He says, if you have a gun, you have to keep up with the gun laws in your state. They constantly change. I want to hear the thoughts. I want to hear both of you guys' thoughts on that. Starting with Chris and then Asim.
Well, I read that and I was thinking, man, I got a little story. I had a young lady contact me. Her mom contact me. She's from maybe South Carolina somewhere, but she was visiting DC. Traveling with a firearm in her car, parked in the parking deck. Car got broken into. Somebody stole the gun. Gun's registered in South Carolina. She called the DC police. What you think happened next?
She got arrested.
Soon as she told him, she got arrested.
Did Virginia come get her too? In North Carolina, did they come after her too?
No, just DC. But you got to know what you're doing, man. Another telltale sign, I'm sure Sim can attest to it. Look at Plexico Barris. Y'all remember Plexico shot himself?
Yep.
He thought that was the bad day. then he went to jail, lost a couple years of his life, playing career, all of that stuff, man. You gotta. Now I've taken a concealed class. If your instructor is not teaching you where the reciprocity is, and I travel a lot, and I know when you cross certain lines, North Carolina, Virginia, you okay. You can't take that gun up to DC and Maryland.
Nope.
You can't take it up there. And I'm not advocating it to do it, but if you do, it should be somewhere in your trunk, locked up. I mean, a lot of times, man, we give ourselves up, because we don't know the law. You don't know where you can have it, where you can't have it, man. And that's an easy conviction. That's
what they say. There are reasonable transport laws, going they say you just have to study the laws in each state. Right. They say that you can kind of if you're just passing through, because we have reciprocity with Pennsylvania. And I travel to Philly a lot, and got to get through DC in Maryland. You know what I'm saying, to get to Philly. You feel me? They say that there are reasonable transport laws, but you just don't quote me on that shit. You have to study it on your own, and I've gone through there with my stuff locked up. You know what I'm saying? Hands at 10 and 2, doing every turn signal with my music turned down at a reasonable level. You know what I'm saying? Trying not to look as black as let me stop. But no, seriously, going through there just very, quiet, and, until I get to the Pennsylvania line, or coming back till I get to the Virginia line. Yep. Roger had my ammo separate, had the gun completely unloaded, had the little lock going through the action. I couldn't have done anything with that gun in a matter of seconds. It would have taken me a deliberate amount of time to make that gun functional when I was traveling through Maryland and DC. I had it locked up in the trunk, ammo set, all of that stuff. So the bottom line is learn the laws in your state. Another story that kind of, and I'm gonna get to you, Asim, another story that and I may have talked about this before on the show when we talked about guns or whatever, but look up the case of, what's her name?
I remember.
Janine Allen. I think her name is Janine Allen. Young black woman was traveling through New Jersey. This is why New Jersey makes me itch to this day. No offense to anybody that lives or is from New Jersey, but shit. But she was licensed to carry in the state of Pennsylvania, lived in Philly. She was traveling through New Jersey, got stopped for a minor traffic offense. She volunteered, like to Chris's point, we give ourselves up. She volunteered the fact that she was a legal concealed carry holder, because most people in a lot of states you have to declare.
You have to do
once
that.
you're approached by some states don't require it, but some states, if you're approached by a law enforcement officer, you have to declare, listen, I'm a concealed carry holder. Here's my license. My gun is located such and such a place. She did that. The only thing that was wrong, she was in New Jersey. Guess what they did? They locked her ass up.
Yeah.
It took her kid. She had her 2 sons in the car. They took her kids away or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And she was in jail for a minute until I think the NRA put pressure on them, and I think Chris Christie finally like let her out or whatever. But do your research on that case. Bottom line is, know the laws. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, know the laws, and my suggestion is, if you don't know, don't even try it.
Yeah,
don't care. Now, some people, they throw caution to the wind. To them, they live by that try by 12 and carry by 6. Nah, not me. I'm not. Yeah. Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
That's but I don't have time to be arrested.
That's another thing too. I live in the Zen idea. You could curse me out, say whatever you want to me. It's gonna have to be on for me to pull this thing and have to shoot it. It's got to be. I was in Walmart when the active shooter happened, and that wasn't even that was really not really all that big of a deal. But I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard active shooter, I reached and looked and immediately thought, "Hey, stupid, don't pull your gun. They ain't recognize who the active shooter is."
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. That could have been a whole nother thing.
That would have been a bad day for me. Even if I'd have came out on the good side of that, I still would have ended up. How stupid would I look on the news? Firearm instructor gets locked up for trying to act like a cowboy. I mean, people don't realize when you don't become no hero. There's a
what they say, Sam. What they say is that the good guys with guns are the ones that will save you in situations like that.
Man, let me tell you something. There's a very thin line between being a hero and being stupid. It's razor thin. When you got your family with you, when it's a problem going on, your first thought should be, let me get the hell out of here.
That's my first thought. Like, I see my man Raj Thompson in the comments. He and I and Jimmy and a bunch of our boys had this conversation once. It's like, listen, it's messed up. You know what I mean? For the other people that are getting, you know what I mean? Even though I'm licensed to carry, it's not my job.
It's
to
not.
Go and try to
you're
play
not
the hero.
You're not security. Let me
exactly.
And maybe Chris can speak on this. And let's say you're caught in that situation, and an active shooter starts shooting, and you pull your pistol out, you put him down. Then people sue you for anything. One of the people may sue you saying, well, he probably wouldn't have shot that many people if Rob wouldn't have pulled his gun and started shooting him or shot him. Everybody else was leaving, but they were scared to run by Rob, so he stopped them from escaping. So we're gonna lock Rob up too for being the hero out there. These things happen. Yeah. Your first thought is remove yourself from that situation. Don't be a hero. Now, now, don't get me wrong. If it's me and somebody gets in my way, I have other methods to stop someone, but I would hope to think that my last resort would be to pull my pistol in self-defense. But that's the funny thing, and Chris will tell you, that self-defense gets very tricky when you start breaking them details down, and you start and people start pulling stuff out that you didn't remember. Well, Yeah, that did happen. What did? Oh, yeah, I don't remember that happening. Well, that did happen because we got that on tape over there. When they start pulling them details out on you, it get real different.
When they start matching those bullets,
right?
Matching those bullets up to see who you hit versus who the active shooter hit, and like he said, who wants to sue who, and who wants to sue you for PTSD, and who wants to sue you for all these other things that you don't believe will happen. Man, that it's. I mean, that's just one part of it, and that's you. I can tell you, none of us six want to be involved in the system, man. Every client I tell that looks like me, I tell them the system was not built for you.
Right.
It was not built for you. Like it's not gonna go well at all. It's not gonna go well. Even if you were doing the right thing, it wasn't. Not even not built for us. The system is just not built for defendants. Period. Right. So regardless of what you're charged with, whether it's discharging a firearm in an occupied dwelling, man, they could charge you with all this kind of stuff, man. Yeah. Like we see all like we all alluded to earlier. We see all this cool stuff in the movies and on Instagram and social media. And I'm gonna yell entrapment. I'm gonna yell self-defense, man. But you got to get locked up, and you know that's a defense, which means you have actually been charged.
Yep.
So that's a defense to a charge. If nothing happened, you don't have to yell self-defense because you were never charged.
Right.
But that's gonna be a long night when you go before a magistrate and get $100,000 bond, and your people got to come up with $10,000 to get you out, and then they tell you, hey, you better go find your lawyer tomorrow.
That's what I want to talk about, Chris. That's what I want to talk about because I mean we talk about the scenarios and this, that, and the other, but the real shit is the money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just if you let's just say I'm a hood digger on the street. I pop some dude, you know, and I need your services. Off top, you said it's 50 G's, right? 50.
If you kill somebody?
Yeah, if I just pop them. If I just pop, we just, I get into an altercation and I just pop them. I'm just talking because I want to talk about the numbers because it's real out here. Because once I come see you, how much is it? You said 50,000 off top, just for a murder.
That's in state court. If you commit a murder in state court and you're gonna probably plead guilty, somebody's gonna charge you $50,000 or get a public defender. I only do federal cases. If you come to me with a firearm by felon, that's at least $25,000. If not, just get a public defender. Like federal cases cost a little bit more. So, it ain't no, oh man, I don't really care what the story is. All I know is you got charged. Before I even look into it, you have to retain me.
Exactly.
Before I put my name on it, you got to pay me because then once I put my name on it, I can't get out of it. You see what I'm saying? I can't get out of it. So firearm by felon. So simple, man. It's so simple. Like they get, man, it's so many felons out here. They carry guns or they got bullets or, if you're a felon and you living with your girl and your girl got a gun in the house and something, my God, should happen. Somebody breaks in, your girl shoots him, but you in the house with her, firearm by felon.
Right.
You right there with
don't
the
people
gun.
like don't
Damn.
Don't people like lose their houses and shit like that trying to pick up get the money to get you right?
You get a public defender, and public defenders are not bad, but it's just a stigma. And people say, "Hey, I want to get my own lawyer," but you got to have your own money. Now, back in year 2, 3, 4, 5 of practice, maybe I would have said, "Hey, man, I'll work with you." I'm in year about 12 or 13 now. I think I did enough where I don't really have to work with you as much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Find somebody else or get a public defender. Good luck. And those charges start at 5 years and 10 years.
Oh, and that's just to be seen, but you do stack up other things by calls, right? You charge them for that shit, right? You definitely do all that, right?
Or hourly, depends on how they charge you. But I mean, a lot of lawyers might tell you, hey, I need 10 grand for a retainer, and then I'm gonna start billing you $250 an hour after you run through that.
Yep.
Right.
You call me, your mama call, your girlfriend call, your wife call, your cousin call. I'm billing for all of that.
Yep.
Well, they have concealed carry insurance. United States Concealed Carry Association, who I'm a certified instructor through. They insure you for Well, I'm insured. The coverage I have, they have I keep a lawyer on retainer. They cover me for bail. I have I think it's up to $1 to $2 million of liability insurance because there may be collateral damage to someone's property. They also replace my firearm because it is going to get confiscated. Make no mistake, they're going to take your gun. So, but even with all of those
they
things,
can't take our guns.
but even with all of those things, you still have to be justified in what you do. Even after all that financial, you still have to prove that what you did, you were justified in what you did.
Right. But that money hit real hard, man. That money hit real hard when you got other bills and I got other shit to pay. You know what I mean?
But even then, even beyond the money, it always seems on the level when it happens. It always I guarantee you, Chris had people, many people he done had it. He done like said to them, well, what about when you did this? And they done stood there with this stupid look on their face, thinking, and they'll bring up something emotional. Well, they said this and they did that. And Chris is looking, thinking, the judge ain't gonna care nothing about what he said about your mama. He ain't gonna care nothing about that. When you lifted your hand and swung, that was it. When you did this, that was it. When you crossed that threshold, that was it. People, that's the problem with that is the big problem with self-defense, I should say, with the term self-defense. I'll bring it back to that. You cannot dictate how something is going to end up. Your best bet is to just walk your ass away.
That's why. Let me say this before you jump in, Chris. That's why I always harp on conflict resolution, and even walking away. I don't care. You can call me all types of bitch ass niggas and punks and pussies and all types of stuff. I have the ability on my hip to end your life. You feel me? And if I'm pushed to it, I'm going to have to take that, take that shot per se, no pun intended. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through none of that shit. So I'm walking away.
I got one for you. Let's say you done in his life. Let's say you just put him in a wheelchair and he's suing you for that.
Yeah.
your crib, your livelihood, you'll be paying for him for the rest of your life. And he started to fight with you.
He started and he threatened my life. He pulled out a knife or a baseball bat or whatever.
And you didn't, you pulled the pistol fully. In fact, you didn't even put your hands on him first. He swung on you. You pulled the pistol, put him down. Now he in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. But guess what? You're going to be paying for everything. You're paying for his nurses. You're paying for that food he eating through that tube. You're paying for that hospital stay. You're paying for all of that for the rest of your life.
And to Roger's point earlier, every bullet that comes out of your gun, you're responsible for. If it goes through somebody and hits somebody else, guess what? You're responsible. You know what I mean? If it hits some property, guess what? You're responsible. So
let's not forget in the early days of Straight to Tape, the story that was told by one of your hosts, by one of your guests, who was defending himself supposedly, and the bullet went through a young man's arm and landed in someone else's chest.
Is that he who should not be named?
He who should not be named.
I forgot
it was him.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah,
it don't matter.
You're responsible for every bullet. That's the bottom line. Every bullet, to Roger's point earlier. So yeah, this self-defense thing is not glamorous at all. Chris, you got any final thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I just want to tell y'all one thing, and it was regarding bail. Now, in the state, you can possibly get a bail, right? Might be high if you got a gun crime. In the feds, the two factors of bail are if you're a flight risk or if you pose danger to others. Anytime that you have a gun, the judge normally finds that you are a danger to others. You see what I'm saying?
You in there?
You're in there until trial. You now in the state, they may give you just a large bail, $500,000, may get it down. In federal court, it doesn't happen that way. If the judge decides that you're a danger to others or you're a danger to society, you sit there. You see what I'm saying? You sit there. You don't get out. Only way you get out normally is if you cooperate or you doing something that the prosecution wants you to do. So that's something else to consider. When they charging you with these crimes, you're not guaranteed to go home. Definitely not that night. Maybe in a week, maybe in a couple of weeks. But if you look, you can look down in Atlanta at the Young Thug case. The reason why he can't get out of jail, the judge say, "Oh, if he gets out, I think he's going to intimidate witnesses. I think he's a danger to society." You see what I'm saying? He's not going to act right. He can hurt people. He can intimidate witnesses. Not worried about him being a flight risk. They don't care about the big time producer come and say, "Hey, you can stay at my house." We don't care about that. We care about him getting out, being able to make calls, being a danger to society. So we're not going to let him out. So you got to think about all this stuff plays a role when you're dealing with firearms.
Yep. Yeah, it's not, cut and dry. You know what I mean? It's just the bottom line is owning a gun is a huge undertaking. It's a huge responsibility.
Right.
You have to be knowledgeable of every law in every state, particularly your own state. The rules of engagement regarding self-defense and lethal force, all of that stuff. And you got to go to the range and practice. Don't just get a gun and have it, just put one in the chamber and drop it in your bag and have it flailing around and it gets hung, the trigger gets hung on something and goes off, negligent discharge. That's your ass too.
Or,
you know what I'm
put
saying?
Put it in your bedroom drawer or something with just willy-nilly all
in the movies.
Your sock drawer. No, that ain't gonna work neither. You need to, even if you're gonna keep it in your car, the glove compartment is not a secure place for your firearm. They make lock boxes that are fairly priced that should be used. Some of them have fingerprints. Some of them use keys. Some of them use a cipher lock. They all are acceptable ways of transporting your firearm legally.
Yep.
And safely. And never leave your gun in your car overnight. I think most of the break-ins that have happened in the Raleigh-Durham area, I think across America, in the past year and a half, are like, what is it? Like, I think 500% have gone up for theft, for firearm theft out of cars or something like that. Something crazy number like that. Yeah. Just be smart. Just think.
Look, and just to root it real quick, okay. When it comes to gun safety and gun responsibility, that's a knowledge that should start young. It is a knowledge that should start young. If you want to train the next generation of gun owners,
safe gun owners, responsible gun owners,
it's got to start. Look, it's got to start young. Yo, Chris.
Wait. I got something to say to that. It might be a little nugget. When I was taking my class, the instructors, one thing they said is that Black people don't take advantage of that. They don't bring their kids into gun safety and gun training early, and we lose out on a lot of scholarships, marksmanship scholarships related to that. There's lots of schools that will give they have marksmanship teams. And because our kids aren't brought into that early, like a soccer or a baseball or all of the rugby or all of those other things, that's something that our kids can really take advantage of.
No.
My daughter
working and not enough jerking.
I started teaching my daughter to shoot at 8 years old. She's now 10. She's fired every gun I've fired. She's becoming more proficient every day. She knows the safety rules. But even before, when the first firearm was brought in the house, me and my wife sat her down and told her the rules. And you can do that with your children. You can let them know. You can talk. In fact, I encourage it to anyone. If you have children, don't try to hide it. Don't try to keep it away. That children are curious by nature. They are sponges. They want to know. They'll go through your stuff. They'll do it. They'll find stuff you think you got hidden. Yeah, whatever. Just
true.
Teach your children about guns and about gun safety, and it will keep them safe. And the scariest thing I can say about guns is this: I know more people who have shot themselves than have shot other people.
Wow.
It is essential to learn how to use a firearm, and if you're going to have a firearm in the house, it is essential that you teach your children about gun safety.
I feel seen. I had a gun accident one time, but we ain't gonna go into that.
No, don't even bring that up again.
I'm lucky to be alive to this day. I still carry the scars, but I'm
exactly. Yo, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Yo, man, I want you to tell the Straight to Tape family where they can find you and your partner Sean on Sundays.
Oh man, we at the Podcases. I think on Instagram we at the Podcases official. This week we actually going Saturday night. We're doing a little something different for the summer, so we're gonna go Saturday night. This is actually our 40th show, man. This is our 40th show.
Oh wow! Congratulations!
Pretty excited. But look, I got a request for y'all too, man.
Where
can I hang out with y'all? Where can I see y'all?
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Now that I know I ain't fired, I know y'all get together sometime. You know, I'm trying.
Well, I'll tell y'all that last week we did trivia as a group because we had some business to meet and handle. So we're down the London Bridge to have trivia on Thursday nights. Pretty fun.
Rebranded.
The Bridge, DTR. Anyway, so we have a whole thing going, right? We're a team, the 5 of us, and then somebody decides to make his own fucking team.
Oh my God, he Eddie Kane. He Bobby Brown. He Eddie Ruffin.
He defected. He defected.
Came in fourth.
We got destroyed on trivia night last Thursday.
And it was movie trivia, and he knows movie trivia.
Bastard.
Wow. Yeah. Well, just let me know. I just like to see you guys in person one time and just
hang out with us, man.
Absolutely. Come on, hang out. Kind of crazy.
Y'all can come hang out July 30th at 112 West Street. It's gonna be the Dolo 50th birthday party and the Nasty Fruit release party for his catalog. It's gonna be something epic.
I get a t-shirt.
Yes. Yo, shouts out to Mr. Dolo, and definitely shouts out to Nasty Fruit. R.I.P. Not the Naughty Headed Avenger.
Naughty Head, no doubt.
Naughty Head lives. But yeah, Chris, man, we're gonna hang out, man. You know what I'm saying? We be getting together, you know what I'm saying, breaking bread and hanging out, having a good time. So man, you might have to hang out with us one of these Sunday afternoons.
Oh yeah. You can come to the cheesesteak extravaganza.
Let me know. I'll be there.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And look,
I'll be on the griddle.
On the real, yo. When the next time you make your appearance on Straight to Tape, bring that other cat with you, okay? He's funny.
He love to come.
He funny. He's hilarious.
Wow.
Yo, I'm telling you, bring it. Yo, we definitely need to have the full tilt of the podcast.
I'm not responsible for what he says, okay?
Yeah, trust me. We feel the same way about certain person on the show.
I feel the way about all of y'all, so it's fine. I understand. I empathize.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Anytime y'all need me, I'm always glad to come, man. And I truly enjoy it, man. Enjoy y'all's banter. Everything about it. Glad to meet Brother Sim today. Might have to come see him if I need to borrow one of them long guns.
You ain't got the bar, brother. You ain't got the bar.
Book bag one.
Just call me. I got you.
Hey, man. Always good to see you guys, man.
No doubt. You too, brother. You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, attorney Christopher M. Young Esquire. Okay,
Chris, we might be some kin, man. You got some family down in Rigglewood, boy.
Bro.
What is that?
We can't do that right now, Tico.
All right, we'll talk later.
I'm from Greensboro, man.
This dude.
They everywhere. All right, we'll talk.
All right, hey, y'all take it easy now.
You too, bro.
Chris. And of course, the homie, Asim Muqtasid, Wisdom Coach Solutions. Hit your man up if you want to learn personal defense.
Personal defense.
1-800 Hong Kong Fooey.
At Wisdom Coach Defense at Gmail. You can hit me up. You can find me on Facebook. Face page. Find me on Facebook.
Same thing.
I'm on. I'm also on Instagram under SW3LZ. Just hit me up. Right now, I'm not teaching any classes because I had a heart attack a couple months ago. I'm recovering. I'm getting better. But once I'm back on track, I'll be able to teach you anything you need. Even if I'm not ready to teach a class, I can put you in contact with a trusted instructor who will be able to give you everything that you need. I have a tight network of qualified, capable instructors who I know personally can do some very, very, very interesting things with guns in their hands. Please don't hesitate. Just hit me up. I'm always glad to help.
Bro, we just glad you're doing better, man. Just keep resting up and all that, man.
Exactly. To my man, salud.
Peace.
I'll see you on the 30th, son.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Woo, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it night time yet?
Yeah, it's almost night time. It's almost night time. But look, ladies and gentlemen, look, as always, thank you for joining us on Straight to Tape. Remember, you could catch us here Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Audio version of Straight to Tape is available on your favorite podcasting platforms. Remember, powered by Acast. Also, S2T Media on YouTube. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Make sure you're following us there. We got some stuff coming. Dope. We got some stuff coming, and you want to definitely keep keep abreast of things. We got some stuff coming. Just be seriously.
Hey Perry,
do we have some stuff coming or not?
Do we have some stuff coming?
We have some stuff coming. We
hit the button, nigga. Hit the button.
Oh, no. Before we do that, catch your family this Thursday, 6:15 Eastern Standard Time. Facebook Live, the mashup, front porch discussions, Straight to Tape. It gets crazy when we get together. Okay,
look them up. Front porch discussions.
Yeah, exactly. And let's not forget our Straight to Tape affiliate, Questions You Didn't Ask, hosted by Naisha Frey, who the last time we did Straight to Tape, let's be honest, she did a great job sitting in.
Excellent.
She was awesome. But we look, the new episode is dropping this Saturday, which you can catch on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. Once again, part of the S2T Media umbrella. All right. And don't forget to check out Intelligent Ratchet. They on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Check us out. I'll say that. So, yo, Rob, before we go, my brother, can you just show a little bit of love, man? Show a little love for the comment section real quick.
I thought I was gonna get out of here, boy. Thought I had the night off, but nah, we can't leave without showing love to the comment section, man. As always, thank y'all for hanging out with us, man, and making us your favorite podcast, man. Miss in the building, sharing the stream, Record Store Podcast, my man Champ sharing the stream. So thank y'all for that. And they were also in the comments, also in the check-in, Daniel Allen, Felicia Walker. Shout out to my man Jay Cook. Thank you for your comments, man. Candy, what's up? Taco Tuesday having. And
anyway.
my man Raj the Big Chief. Also, Jermaine was in the building. My man Jay Trey, my man Roger Taylor active in the comments. Deveron on the come through. Indy James checking in from YouTube. Also, my man Hatch 6th Floor. Thank you for the reactions from the FISA and the comments from the FISA. My man Barrett Downing in the building, Nadia Ellen and Neatrice Holmes. Again, man, love y'all. Thank y'all for your support. Peace. Appreciate you. Love you.
Woo.
I missed you, didn't mean it.
Yep. And guys, we love y'all. Look, we love y'all. Happy to be back. We're gonna be back next week with the Fly Fire show. Yo, Tico.
Yes.
Yo, man, you okay after that thing you had to get taken care of earlier?
Yep, like a real trooper, just like Rambo. Since we were talking about guns today, it popped into my head. Rambo. Remember.
Whoa. What are you doing?
Remember to show kindness.
Is this a life coach moment? Is this a life coach moment?
Assist the elderly. M, move yourself away from all that craziness. B, bullshit, step over it. Oh yeah. Like always, knock that motherfucking back out. Yeah, there you go.
That last part didn't even fucking begin with a O.
No, I say oh. I was like, oh. Comma.
Lord, you know what? I'll see you later. Peace.
I hate the button carry. I don't even want to say goodbye.
I mean, really.